Live and direct from Disruption Network Studios. It is time for EC Radio. What's happening, everybody? We're live on all Disruption Network social media platforms. Follow along on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook, pretty much all those social media platforms. Like I said, shout out to the sponsors, EJA Moving Services. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his staff at 315-335-0516. EJAmoving.com. There's no task they can't handle. They can pretty much move whatever. They can move Mandry back to California if they wanted to, with all his drums and his storage unit and everything. And they will do that too. They will do that for you, Mandry. I'm telling you, they're a great, reputable service. Call them today, 315-335-0516. Attorney Dave Longaretta, he's a great man. He's my attorney. If you need legal advice, you can call my good friend at 315-735-6162. Shout out to Utica Coffee. Shout out to Saranac Brewery, and shout out to Joey's at 307. I suggest you go over there tomorrow and check out their lunch, because they've got amazing lunch specials, and they've got a revolving dinner menu, and they've got so much seafood dishes, and they're just awesome. Go see Matt Grabsky. Tell him Uncle Z sent you. Chris Mandry! Woo! Mandry, you're home. I thought AO was coming.
He'll be here, hopefully.
All right. I kind of set him up. I got on the phone with him because I called you up. I didn't know if you had a ride or not.
Yep.
So I wanted to know if you had a ride. So picked up the phone and I said, Mandry, how you getting here? Do you have a car? And all of a sudden I hear, we transporting, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he doesn't have a car. He's teleporting.
Teleporting. That's what he said. Teleporting. That's right. So I got excited and I hung up the phone and ran in here and started fixing things, thinking AO's coming. I had AO prepare myself. You know, because the energy level gets pretty high when he gets in the room, which I hope he does crash it.
Yes. Yeah. I think he will. I don't know. I texted him. We'll see if he texts back. But, yeah.
Good to see you, bud.
Yeah, good to see you too, man.
You look good.
Thanks.
How's California treating you?
Great, man. Yeah. I've been loving it. Everything's better than I could have hoped for, I think, at this point.
Yeah. You're a Renaissance man. For people that don't know Chris Mandry, Mandry's a Renaissance man. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He's a drummer. He's an improv guy. He can fix your drum kit. He can tell jokes. He can do he can even paint your living room. There's so many things this kid can do. And that's what he's taking his talents to Hollywood. And he's gotten himself into some cool things, man. Talk about what you're doing in Hollywood right now in that backline company you're working for.
Yeah, so the backline company, Studio Instrument Rentals, are called. They're right in the center of Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard, and they catered to the stars, like the owner's friends with, Sir Elton John will come in and rehearse, Snoop Dogg, Foo Fighters, all the Roots. We would build drum kits for like the Roots and send them out and put the heads he wants on them, tune them up, that kind of thing. It gets very specific. In the drum department, we had probably about 150 drum sets. So somebody would give us their rider, like, we want these cymbals, depending on if they actually pay for the better stuff or not. We want these cymbals, these heads, these drums, and we set them all up and tune everything up, put them in packages, send them out the door. And, so I was doing that full-time, like 5-6 days a week.
Do you bring them to the gigs yourself sometimes and set them up? Like tech?
I have. I've teched for Mike Portnoy, which was sick, for his Sons of Apollo video, one of the latest, probably the last one that they did.
Badass band, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, and that was super cool. So I got from his drum tech, I got a picture of his setup, and then based on that, I just sort of put everything in place, and then he sat down, and I just had to lower all the cymbals, and he was good to go. And so that was awesome, doing that kind of stuff.
Is that pretty surreal for you? Because I know how much you love Portnoy.
Yeah, for sure. He actually reminded me a lot of you.
Why? Because we look alike. When I had hair,
he's kind of. But he also, there's something about like the way that he talks. I don't know. He's got like this Long Island. He's from Long Island, but he's got this Italian. I don't know. It was just really funny. He reminded me of you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, a light fell on him too during the shoot, and he said that he had a dream about it.
What?
And then he goes, man, I had a dream that one of these companies fucked me over. And everyone's kind of looking around like, I hope it's not me, And then he's doing an interview and this fucking light falls on
Oh, my
top
God.
of him. Yeah, he's like, oh, man. So, I mean, he made it out.
Wow, he dreamed that. He was dreaming about that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it struck him in the head.
Yeah.
How random is that? So weird.
Pretty crazy.
But
man.
you've worked with other legends though too, right? You've Danny Carey too, right? Comes in the drum shop. And...
So that job at Studio Instrument Rentals, I got furloughed last year in March. I was actually so I haven't worked there since a year ago March, and I've been at the drum shop and I started working full time. I was actually in Vegas at the time when I got the call that I no longer had a job there, and so I was just like balls to the wall at Vegas. It was crazy because
I would not want to see you in Vegas. Well, yeah, maybe I would.
We had a good time. So right when that happened, I was blessed to have this mentality that I was like, well, something creative is going to happen. Something is going to come out of this that I wouldn't have happened without getting laid off here. And fortunately, I was right, and I was able to kind of create more of a position for myself at the professional drum shop, which is in Hollywood, actually right down the street from SIR. And yeah, but that was crazy being in Vegas when everyone found out they're losing their jobs and you're walking around. And I watched in New York, I watched the slot machines get turned off row by row.
Wow, really?
And then they start pulling the money out of it, and everyone's all like sad and stuff. It was super intense.
I bet.
So I just did what I could to make myself happy.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Is her name Molly?
She was part of the party.
You visited.
It was a big party.
Molly Hatchet. Got a bunch of people checking in, man, on Facebook, and we're live on Twitch. Gary Johnson's over on Twitch right now. He says, I love Chris Mandry more than significant amount of my blood relatives.
Wow. That's very kind,
That's
Gary.
deep, bro.
Yeah. I've also met some of his relatives.
Yeah.
I get it. No, I love Gary. Gary's the man.
Yeah, Mandry, are you hip to Twitch? Are you on the platform right now?
I haven't messed around with it too much.
Yeah,
I haven't really messed around with too much new stuff. I've just been kind of nose to the grindstone, plowing ahead, working, that kind of a thing. I mean, I'm familiar with it, in the fact that I've heard it, but I've never really messed around with it.
Yeah, it'd be a great platform for you.
Is it?
With your drumming and you're taking videos and whatnot.
Nice. Is it like just live?
It's just live. You can't upload videos.
Like Periscope, kind of?
Well, Periscope, you could go live. Periscope's done, actually.
I didn't fuck around with Periscope either, so I don't know why I'd even bring that up.
Twitter totally took them over. Now we're just live on Twitter now.
Oh, so interesting.
That platform. But yeah, Twitch is and now all the local musicians are starting to adapt to Twitch.
Nice.
And you're seeing Gary go live on Twitch, and Gridley's live on Twitch almost every night, and Justin and Ryan Quinn and Max and all the acoustic artists, and they're doing pretty well on there, man. They're doing very, very well. So it's a great little platform, and we're live on Twitch right now. So
sweet. Well,
give us a follow.
I love it here. Twitch is great.
Dave Borgia's over on Facebook, and he's saying Portnoy is awesome. He loves Portnoy. He's a big Portnoy fan.
Hell yeah.
And we got to give a big shout out to Tim Moyer over at Gridley Page. He's saying hello to everybody. So,
all right, Tim.
All the peoples are checking in. Chris Mandry, so have you been doing some comedy? You've been doing any improv when you've been hanging in LA?
So I was doing improv at Second City, and I did a couple classes there, and they ended up, it was right like in the middle of the pandemic, like right when it started. So they ended up going to online, and I did a couple classes online, and it was cool, but it's tough to sit there for 3 hours and that kind of thing. But it was still cool, and I still learned a bunch. But I haven't been doing as much of the improv. I have been doing stand-up. I actually just booked another show before I got here for the 23rd, Thursday the 23rd, at the Federal Bar in North Hollywood, which is where I did a stand-up show there last month. And it went really well. People dug it, and I felt very comfortable and relaxed, maybe because I had a couple drinks or something. But, I'll go to like open mics and then work out the material and see what people are laughing at and see what they're not laughing at, which is, you're surrounded, at an open mic, you're surrounded by comedians, so it's really like, like you don't really get...
It's competitive.
It is. It's a very interesting environment to try to work through some stuff, but it also, once you get to the public, it's like, okay, this stuff is actually killing with the public. So that's really fun to do that. And I just love being on stage and in front of a camera, anything, performance-wise.
Breaking a comedian's nut is very hard to do if you could get them to laugh.
Right.
They always say, like, if you could get Lorne Michaels from Saturday Night Live to laugh, like you're in. You know,
Right.
That guy never laughs at anything.
Right.
So if you could get a comedian to laugh at your shit, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So has quarantine help you or the lockdown help you with like revamping some of your material?
Oh yeah, I mean some of the a couple things. I mean, I didn't do anything up until last month, basically when I booked the show, and then I did a couple Saturdays that I kind of just went to go see a show, and I ended up helping set up the PA. They're like, "Hey, you want to do 10 minutes?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I got up on stage without having any practice in the last year and just started kind of, doing some of my old stuff, which was sort of hit or miss. The timing was a little rough for sure. And then 2 weeks later, it got better. And then I did some open mics, and then I was able to kind of cut out a lot of the fat and get to the meat of the stuff, and got it working out. So yeah, it's cool. It's a very cool process, and it's very. I like the creative part. I like that it's just me doing it, and it's a lot easier. I love doing the band thing, but it's so much easier to just show up somewhere. You don't have to warm up. You don't have to worry about other people. You don't have to bring any gear. You're just up there with a microphone that they provide, a little buzzed, and just kind of shooting the shit, you know. And
you just go off. Do you go off the cuff, or do you have material already prepared?
I have material prepared. Like I know what I'm gonna say, and sometimes I'll do like little filler stuff. I like to start off by commenting on some other part of the show. It just sort of, I've just found that the rest of the show goes smoother when you can do kind of a on the fly joke about something that you just saw. Yeah, so that's been fun to do, and it's a challenge too in the moment. And then I know that I've got my other stuff, which is pretty solid enough, and so I go to that afterwards, regardless if people laughed or didn't laugh at that in the moment type of thing.
Right on.
Yeah, it's fun.
Julie Davis is over on Twitch. She's saying hello to you.
Hi.
So you're getting reacquainted with a bunch of old friends. They're all happy to see that smiley face.
Utica Club.
So you did this. You got the comedy thing, and you're a drummer. And just the other day, you inspired the living shit out of me.
Nice.
And I told you this when I was cruising around on Facebook, and I saw the band Green Jello.
Yep.
Little pig, let me in. They do this variety show kind of thing every Saturday on their Facebook page, and it's a freak show.
It is.
It's a freak show. And then lo and behold, there you are. Well, no. There, Pink Schneider was. Pink Schneider was a contestant on this game show, and boom. And look, Pink Schneider has gone Hollywood, bro.
Pink Schneider, yeah, absolutely has gone Hollywood.
He's talked to Matt Pinfield.
I've interviewed Matt. Yeah, I'm sorry. Pink has interviewed Matt Pinfield, Angelo Moore.
From Fishbone.
Yep, been on a game show with Green Jello. There's another person in there too.
Yeah, the guy from the other Fishbone guy too, from Modown.
Oh yeah.
There was a little bit of that going on.
In the band anymore.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah, nothing to do with that interview, I'm sure. Yeah. So I ended up getting in with this. It was just kind of pretty lucky. I knew that they were doing it, and they were just starting out like this variety show because Angelo Moore from Fishbone had came into the drum shop to buy some stuff, and we're just kind of shooting the shit.
Did he remember you from, first of all, we opened, Street Rock Mafia opened for Fishbone at the Westcott, and then we got to hang out with them at Modown, and then Pink Schneider interviewed Angelo, which you can find on our YouTube page, which is freaking hysterical, back from like 4 years ago or whenever it was.
Yep.
And did he remember you from any of those moments?
No, he's a pretty in the moment guy, I guess. Yeah, he's I think he's experienced.
We love him.
I think he's experienced a lot, so it takes a little bit to kind of like bring the chain of events to the moment that we where I interviewed him. But eventually, he would look at it. Like I showed him a picture before Pink Schneider went up. I'm like, hey man, just to let you know, this character's coming out, and he interviewed you, so don't freak out because this guy's coming out right now.
You might have
and he's looking at it,
flashback,
and he's like, where? I'm like, Modown. I interviewed you in upstate New York. You remember he said we were wigging out? He's like, oh, that was you. And it's like, yeah, that was me.
We were wigging.
Yeah, we were wigging out for sure.
We certainly were.
I was wigging out.
That was a great night. Great day.
But yeah, so it was just kind of by happenstance that you know, I'd heard about this, and then a buddy of mine from Syracuse who I haven't seen in over 10 years just comes rolling in. He's like, "Hey, I'm in town working with, you know, Green Jello," and they needed to borrow a drum set, so I let them borrow a drum set, and then they ended up buying the drum set. And then it's like, "Hey, you want to come in and check this out and be a part of this?" And I just sort of did some stuff and was like, "Hey, here's this Equations character." I didn't even tell them. They were just like, just kind of trusted me. I'm like, "Yeah, Equations." And they're like, "All right, whatever. We'll just say his name."
Yeah.
And then I come out and do the thing and come back next week. So, yeah. And then this coming Saturday, I'm going to be playing with Potty Mouth, which is the band I joined when I first moved to LA. Yeah, so pretty excited. I haven't played with them in about a year and a half.
Now, Potty Mouth, describe Potty Mouth for everybody out there.
So take like the grossest thing that you can think of, right? Like a pus-filled fucking, I don't know, just the most disgusting thing that you can think of, right? And you got that thing in your mind right now, just some oozy, you know, something gross.
Pus-filled diarrhea, like, phlegm,
right. That
green.
just big something, and then just cover that in poop. And then that's Potty Mouth, basically.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a speed metal
Poop.
Yeah,
It's speed metal poop.
It's potty. So years ago, I actually came up with this genre, I thought, called potty metal. And it's basically just, you know, poop on your face, you know, right before a breakdown type of thing. And
Don't forget to wipe.
yeah, exactly.
Diarrhea. Right? Was that kind of like your...
Yeah, I mean, you could basically, you're in the band already. So I had this in my mind. And so, of course, the first band that I see on Craigslist was just like, "Hey, you know, we're looking for a drummer." I was searching drummer wanted. I'm like, let me try drummer needed. And then this comes up, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, it's joking, but we're a serious band, but, you know, you got to have a sense of humor. And so within 10 days of being in LA, I'm in this fucking band called Potty Mouth. You know, it's exactly pretty much what I had envisioned. And it's like Guar. There's two guys who are just characters. The lead singer's a character, and they'll come out with like.
Is he the same character every time, or is it different?
He's always Dread Spaghetti.
Dread Spaghetti.
And then the other guys will switch their characters depending on what song it is. They could have like a huge bong or a big plate of poop. Silly string. They've got this chick.
A lot of silly string and a lot of toilet paper, right?
It's yeah. I mean, all kinds of stuff. They used to have a song called "Coat Hanger Abortion" where they would take a fetus on like an umbilical cord, and the guy would start whipping it around his head, and that didn't go over too well in some of the more woke college venues. They got into actual physical fights with people.
Cancel culture didn't like those guys too much, huh?
No. Yeah, but yeah, so playing with them Saturday, looking forward to that.
What a great fit for you. Were you just like, this is my dream band? Did you tell them, like, this has been a brainchild of mine forever, and here I am?
Yeah, it was really strange.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those things that was just you know, you recognize it immediately. You know, like some of my best buds here, like Doc specifically, was like, of course you would find a potty metal band the moment that you get into LA, and it's been great. Some wild times with those guys. We had a gun pulled on us in Arizona.
What?
That was pretty intense. Yeah, we
because of swinging the fetus around?
The band. No, we were driving from Cali to Arizona to play a show at this fucking little dive bar, and we're going, and the bass player was driving. He's this macho guy. He used to be top 10 in the world bodybuilder, and he's just this monster dude, jacked. And we're driving, and something happened where some guy was passing us, and we were passing him, and it was getting kind of heated. We're about to turn off this exit, and the bass player's like, "Well, you know, what are you doing?" or something. And then the guy just pulls out a gun and points at us, and I didn't see it. I was just looking forward, you know, just like whatever. And then the singer looks over, and he goes, "Yeah, that guy just pulled out a gun." And so I was like, "Wow, are you kidding me?" And the driver, bass player, is didn't see it either, but the guitarist in the back saw it too. He's like, yep, definitely a gun. He's very quiet. It's just such a strange dynamic. But yeah, so it was pretty exciting.
What's your stage name in Potty Mouth?
I haven't gotten. I've given myself a stage name.
You can't do that.
I know.
No, that's not.
Okay, so I don't have one then.
Oh, well,
but
what's the name you gave
use
yourself?
I'm not going to even say it.
No, I want to know though.
Splat.
Splat. Make some noise for our drummer, Splat. And then put some water on your snare drum, so it kind of sounds like a splat when they introduce you.
That'd be funny, like a little thing, like a plastic thing on top of it, so it didn't get the snare drum messed up, but it would still do the Blue Man Group thing.
There you go,
like brown
splat,
brown water.
You can't nickname yourself, Mandry.
Well, I don't know, just trying to help everyone out. So we're thinking too. Well, we were before I quit the band in November of 2019. But we're gonna turn the seat into a huge toilet bowl.
Ah,
be like a big toilet that I'm sitting at.
Nice.
Yep.
And there's props and stuff on stage too, right? I mean, not just
big time props.
Yeah, like toilets,
nonstop
costumes. So it's a party. It's right up your alley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fun, for sure.
There was a band out of Buffalo. They were called Anal Pudding. They used to come play the Electric Company back in the day, and they were hilarious. And every time they would play, the next day would just be a mess, and there was toilet paper everywhere.
Nice.
Busted up toilet seats, and it was crazy. They had some crazy songs, too. They were nuts.
Nice.
Anal Pudding, if anybody remembers that. Dave Borges saying Swinging Fetus would be a great band name.
Yeah, that is good.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a nice, like, jazzy, like some kind of, like, jazz with, like, a little, little hook. A little fucked up hook to it.
There you go. Dude, give me a good I can't believe I'm in this moment story since you've been in LA, because you've bumped into a few people that I'm sure you've turned into fanboy. Bro, I've seen you fanboy over Ryan Martini from Mudvayne.
That's a little...
You fanboyed the shit out of him.
I did.
And you made him do, was it LD50? Right? Was it da-da-da-da-da? You made him do the whole freaking...
Internal Primates Forever. So I...
See, you do remember this.
I haven't... I was a little sped up at the time. But I haven't... I didn't sing that song. Like, my buddies and I used to... do what we called mouth band, where we go da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I had him stay there and listen to me do it.
And he's just sitting there like, cool.
Yeah. And then I offered to take him to breakfast.
You fanboyed
him in the band. Him in the band. I did because Mudvayne, that first album was yeah, I'm not normally like that either, but that first album was a life-changing album for me. Definitely one of my top 10 favorites. So that was pretty funny. But no, it was all good. It was all innocent, happy kind of stuff. I'm sure he remembers.
So you got a wild moment though in LA that has just brought you like, I can't believe this is like I'm here right now in this moment.
There's been a few. One of them was with Doug Benson, familiar with Doug Benson?
The comedian.
Yeah. Super High Me. He did Super Size Me, but with weed.
Getting Doug with high.
Yep, getting Doug with high. He was doing the show Kill Tony, which is like it's like an open mic kind of show for people that was on the main stage of the Comedy Store. So you get called up and you do a minute. I actually got called a few weeks after this happened. But so I'm at this bar called The Den, and it's right down the street from the Comedy Store. I'm like, all right, I'm going to have a little something to eat and a drink before this. So I'm having a drink, like watching a game or something, and there's somebody next to me, a couple next to me, and I just order some food or whatever. And then I look over, and it's Doug Benson. And I'm like, and he's about to be the featured comedian at Kill Tony up the street. So I'm like, I'm sorry, are you Doug Benson? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I've done the 311 cruise and this, that, the other thing, because he's always on those. And we end up just kind of shooting the shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually going to go over to Kill Tony. He's like, oh, did you sign up? And I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I go, I never know if I should, like, smoke some weed before or, like, take an edible, because I don't want to get messed up when I'm there. He's like, and he goes, so I asked him for advice. I'm like, what should I do? And he goes, ma'am, what if you don't get called up? And you're just going to sit there not high? He goes, of course, take an edible. You know, I'm like, all right, man. So I pulled some edibles out. I'm like, you want some? He's like, yeah, I do. So I gave him and his girlfriend some edibles, and I took an edible. And so, you know, it was all great. It's like, all right, have a good one, man. Yeah, you too. So then I sit down at the show, and at the show, I'm watching him, and his eyes go from like up here throughout the show, and they start getting squintier and squintier. And I'm like, I did that. I did that to that dude. Yeah, so that was a cool experience. Ran into Dice.
You ran into Dice?
Yeah.
What was that like?
He was wearing, he did 45 minutes in the original room, which is like a tinier stage. And I was in the front row, and I was dying. I mean, I was crying laughing. He's
still on top of his game?
Absolutely hilarious.
I seen him at the Stanley Theater back in the 90s.
The way that he just like talks and his delivery is just absolutely hilarious. So I'm wearing this professional drum shop hat, right? I'm sitting in the front row, and he's wearing a professional drum shop T-shirt because he's a drummer. Him and his boys always go there, and he's got like the cutoff T-shirt.
His son's a professional.
Yeah. His son's
Like he's in a great
sick.
band. I can't remember the name of the band, but
Max comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met him. I've chatted with him a few times. But so Dice is up on stage, and he's about to get off. So I'm like, I'm going to go to the bathroom and be like, hey, professional drum shop, you know, because I know he goes there. So I'm like, maybe, you know, just say hi quick. So so I go out to the bathroom, and he's coming out. And I'm like, you know, I got my hat on. I'm like, hey, Dice. And he walks by, and he goes like this. He's walking by, and he just looks at me. He goes, no. And he just keeps on walking by. It was perfect for him. I mean, that's just like what, you know.
yeah.
That's just the way he is.
No.
But he goes, no.
I'm not giving you any of my energy.
Hey, Dice, no. Yeah, man, it's those types of people. It's very accessible there. You know, and especially if you're just kind of chill and cool and appreciate it and aren't, you know, putting too much freaked out energy. You know, if you don't Ryan Martinez people, then you're better off.
Oh my God, he looked at you like you had 5 heads.
Yeah.
Bandit just saying half aborted fetus was a fake name he made up for a death metal band.
Nice.
Yeah, the logo was a pacifier with a fishing hook in place of a nub. And he also says hello to you.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Hi, Dave Bandage. Good to hear from you. If you're watching on Facebook, if you could do us a favor and click the share button and help spread the word. You got anything you want to promote? Well, anything you like besides you got this gig with Potty Mouth? Is that something people can view on a live stream thing?
Oh, yeah. So the Green Jello Vision show is live every Saturday, 2 to 2.5 hour show from 8 to 10 Pacific time. So that's 11 to 1 Eastern time. On their Facebook Live, they might do Instagram too, but definitely on Facebook Live. And it's cool. It's a variety show. They got musical.
No, it's a freak
guests.
show.
It is absolutely a freak show.
I'm so inspired by it.
It is for sure a freak show. Ton of fun. But I'm going to be helping out with that. Hopefully weekly. It has been before I left for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, you can see next Saturday. Going to be doing that with Potty Mouth. I got the stand-up show on the 23rd. Professional Drum Shop is the place that I work now full time. I've been helping out with their website, so a lot of like online sales, that kind of a thing, but also working hopefully within this year to really get the YouTube channel up and popping.
Cool.
They've got a lot of history there. Been open since 1959. All the major drummers, especially if they were in LA, would come through there. The music store next door. They used to sell some junk out of there. They don't anymore. So people would go there back in the day when you could smoke and drink right in the store. They'd go there and pick up whatever, and then come to the store, and everyone would be gathered up, you know, having fun, just partying and hanging out. You know, you'd see Jeff Porcaro there. You could see Buddy Rich. That was his hang. They got Buddy Rich's last drum kit there. It's really just full of history, and I'm
wow.
super lucky to be there, man. It's like I realized actually that I've always had a retail business my entire life, which is something that I never like really put together. But so when I was 5, it started actually when I was 4, I think 3 or 4, I would do trick-or-treating and get candy, right? and I was a very picky eater, so there's only certain things that I liked, and the other stuff my dad would eat, but I didn't want to give it to him for free, so I'd make a price list, and I'd sell him the candy, and I'd have to check every morning because sometimes he'd like sneak some candy up, so I'd be like, make sure you put your wrappers in the in the bowl so I know what you had.
You stole my Hershey Kiss. You owe me a nickel.
Well, and if I liked the Kisses, they'd be worth 25 cents. You know what I mean? It's supply and demand.
Inflation.
But so ever since then, I've always been buying and selling stuff or getting stuff and selling it, and it's just kind of a perfect fit for me with all the stuff I've been doing. So yeah, the drum shops, it's been a godsend for sure.
And it's wide open for you too, right, to practice your chops?
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. They hook me up with this with a little room that I'm able to kind of jam out and teach lessons and
Are you
that
sleeping
kind of
in
thing.
it, Mandry?
I didn't.
No,
I have not. No, because they
not yet.
They break my chops. I haven't had to yet. But yeah, no, they break my chops all the time. They've had other people there who have slept at the drum shop like way back, 30, 40 years ago, and they'll call me that name. So like, hey, Howie, you staying over there tonight? They're funny dudes.
Yeah,
they break chops. It's pretty good.
So it's like a legendary joint.
Oh yeah. They got Buddy Rich's last kit. They got the first. So many things were invented there.
Really?
Yeah, they've got something called a speed key, which is like a drum key that it's got like a little windy kind of thing that was first created there. There's if you ever see like Hal Blaine, who's like super famous studio drummer, he was part of the Wrecking Crew. He's the main drummer of the Wrecking Crew. That was like his shop, and so they built the first Octoplus kit. So it's like 8 drums, made by Ludwig, that was custom made, and they put it together. They just got the shells and they put it together all right there, and then after that, it blew up. They were just good friends with the Ludwig company. Pearl, the big reason why they're even over here is because of that drum shop. And
wow.
Yeah, man.
So do they hand make drums too? Is it like custom builds?
If you bring in like a shell without any holes in it, they'll do all the drilling, all that kind of stuff. Do some
finish work on it?
A little bit. They don't like rewrap it, but tons of repairs. That's where like Danny Carey will get his stuff repaired there. Everyone else, Did
you lose your shit when Danny Carey come walking into the drum shop the first time?
The first.
Be honest with me.
Yeah. The first couple times I was a little like, because I didn't want to do the,
Right, you didn't want to do the Ryan Martini thing.
But no, he's always been super cool. Actually, excuse me, he came in with some buddies, and we had just gotten this book. Is kind of a rare book that somebody passed away, and he had all these books. And so I gave him it because it's all about like shapes and like the shapes on a drum set, and that's what he's like, into all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, hey man, take this. And he's like, oh, thanks, man, cool, and checking it out. And then the 3 guys he was with was like, hey, can I get one of those too? So then sold them all the books too. But yeah, he came up and shook my hand after that, and he's a nice guy. And he pointed out that I was wearing the Tool shirt. He's like, nice shirt. I didn't even know. I thought it was a Meshuggah shirt, and I looked down. I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him that I bought it in a parking lot, but whoops.
Yeah, how cool is that?
It's insane, man. It's there's something to it too about being around that kind of energy too. I think there's a certain kind of they say that you are basically the personality of the 5 people that you keep around you, and I think that it's something. I think it's a little more. It can be that is true, and I see that just in myself and the way that I've changed depending on who's in my life. But just to be around that kind of energy, it's a totally different perspective. That people seem more like people, and they're more relatable in some cases like that, and it's it's awesome to be there for sure.
Cool, man. You deserve it, man.
Appreciate
you got balls, bro. I gotta hand it to you. You got balls. You just one day up and left and lived in your car for like 6 months in LA, and like you just did it, and with no shame whatsoever, and you did it with pride, and you did it with balls. It takes balls to do what you did.
Thanks, man. So nobody actually knows about that. You were the only person who knew about
I just
that.
blew you in.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Mandry.
So
Christopher, you're what?
yeah, I know. No, literally nobody knows. Not even
Well, they do
Florida.
now.
Yeah, it's all good. I figured it was going to come up, so I was
Sorry,
prepared.
Cal.
No, it's cool. So, so you and one other person guessed that I was doing that. But and I only told probably a couple other people that were very outside of my world, especially here. I didn't want people to be concerned, that kind of thing. But it was everything was good. So here's the setup for that. It wasn't just
Right. You weren't just homeless living in a car. You had things going on. Well, you were.
Yeah, I mean, there was some anchors. So and I would just tether off. But so within a mile, I'm going to go back even more things. So when I moved out there, I didn't have any place to live. I was just like, I'm just going to go out there and hopefully find something. I found a nice place in Silver Lake. It was like $1,500 for a month. And I'm like, more of a vacation type of a mentality, with that month. The next month I did Airbnb and I didn't want to use my cash. So I used, I could put it on a card, because I wanted to hold my cash and use it for what I needed to use it for. And then after that, at the end of that month, I was like, okay, I got a practice spot. I needed a place to keep my drums. It was a 24-hour lockout. So what that means is that you have access. It's a practice facility. You have access to it. You cannot live there. Like they will kick you out immediately. But I had in North Hollywood, within a 1 mile area, I had my practice spot, which is like $400 a month I was paying. I had a storage unit. I had P.O. box, and Planet Fitness was there, so I could go shower and do what I had to do. And so from February of 2019 to the end of June 2019, so that 5 months, I slept in my car. I had this little fucking I could push down the back seat, and then I had like a little mattress set up. I could throw it up there, and probably about a minute and a half, not less than a minute. I could just, boom, boom, boom. And I'd pretty much every night I was giggling, I'd like pull up to a parking spot, be like, and then slide in the back. So I was never scared. There were a couple of kind of dicier moments. One time when I was in Englewood, sleeping before I had to go to, out to Nashville. I think I heard somebody knock on my car and go, Mr. Mandry. Oh, I had a tarp around the, it could have been a dream, could have not been a dream, but I had a tarp that would go. I had these clips, so like in my Jeep, I would clip it to the two handles, and then I had a way to put it. I would close the trunk so that I had like a tent basically inside, so you couldn't see inside, and yeah, so I did that for basically 5 months, and it was interesting. And it was there were some points where it was difficult. You go through this kind of a mental thing, but I also knew that this was my opportunity, and that I had to save money. It's not that I didn't have money. I could have gotten an apartment, but I also knew that I only had so much time, and that I didn't have to support anybody. I'm fine. I'm in a good situation. Mentally, I was prepared to do whatever just to survive. You know what I mean? Just to stay afloat for as long as possible. My goal is to hit the 1 year mark, and after the 1 year mark, I figured I'd at least get in the rhythm of the city and start learning more. But yeah, it's interesting, the kind of survival things that you figure out, and would start spotting other people too. Like I would be driving and be like, oh, that guy lives in his car. Oh, that guy, you know what I mean? And then I'd see like these RVs and like, look at these fucking mansions, these, but yeah, it's.
How did you maintain to stay positive throughout all that?
A lot of giggling, at how crazy it was, but also, it was tough. There was points there that like nobody knew, like nobody I was working, I was in bands, and nobody knew what was happening. I guess a lot of it was, how did I stay positive? I just always trying to achieve something, trying to get something, whether it was a job. It was difficult though, because there were points where I was like, I wanted to quit the drums. Like I was like, after, I was ready for a humbling experience to go out there, because I know that it's a totally different animal out there. I mean, the best of the best in the world are out there, and I got humbled pretty quickly and pretty hard, and that was difficult. But then comedy was there too. And so, doing the open mics and that kind of a thing, and writing about it as much as I could, like having jokes about it. But it was also so real that it wasn't necessarily funny. Like I noticed that people were more concerned for me when I would tell jokes than like ha ha ha,
Really?
Yeah. There was a certain kind of like,
because you're talking about your day to day.
yeah, or like I forget now what some of the jokes were, but like it was kind of like a little bit of a fearful thing. So you had to be like, like one of the jokes is like, I can, I use my slow cooker, which I actually did. I can use my slow cooker in my car, but it would take me, 6 hours to cook something. So I got to use a tank of gas to cook a meal in my slow cooker. But no, everything was cool. I mean, nobody is.
Were there any ladies like, do you need a meal, honey?
No, no. No. I mean, again, nobody knew when I played out. Like my work didn't know. Like the drum shop, they were actually breaking. They would break chops about other people. Be like, "Oh, that guy lives in his car." I'd be like, "Yeah, that guy." And then I was going to my car and fucking taking a nap. But
you have an apartment now, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got an apartment in July after those 5 months. And it was just kind of time where it was like, all right, I think I'm ready to, get away from the from the road noise. And and I got an apartment actually with a professional comedian, Sammy Obeid. He had a show on Netflix, 100 Humans, and he's been on Conan O'Brien, all that kind of stuff. And so we would go out and do some comedy stuff every now and then. He'd kind of give me input, and he'd be doing different shows, and I'd try to help him out and give him some input there. And then I moved from there to Hollywood. And it was, as I got more work, as I got more jobs, things just got a little more comfortable. And then so I moved to Hollywood in February of 2020. And then a month later, that was, pandemic. One of the roommates bounced, but he was still paying for it until July. And then in July, he bounced, so I wasn't going to be swinging $1,500 a month in a pandemic, whatever it was.
It's expensive to live out there, huh?
Yeah, super expensive. And then this other place opened up again just randomly, so I went back to that place, and that's where I'm at now. It's cool, man. It's a pretty pretty easy setup. It's very inexpensive, and I got a little hot tub in back, so I can been doing like therapy for my arms, where I like ice them and then heat them after I'm playing. So I fucked up my elbows a little bit, like tendonitis, and so just kind of taking care of that. But at some point, I'm going to do a documentary type of thing because I took a lot of footage of me with the whole like living in the car situation.
You did?
Oh yeah. A lot of stuff of me like waking up with like the tent around me, and looks like I'm like giving birth. Like when I would come out of my car, like I'd poke my head around, see if anyone's around, and then fucking crawl out. And it just, I think the biggest benefit to me is that I was able to have a sense of humor about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The entire time is that it's just like this is just fucking so silly.
It's always been a characteristic of yours, though. You can always make fun of the situation no matter what, or turn it into jokes no matter what kind of the situation it is, which is good.
Very lucky. Yeah.
Adderman's saying he's good to see you're still alive.
Oh yeah,
you're still alive for sure.
Oh yeah, there was no. It was fine. There was no scary anything. Any kind of scary stuff was kind of in my mind, but yeah, it was all good. And I'm glad, a part of it too was like, all right, this is part of the story. And I had to have a couple people who I would talk to every now and then kind of remind me, it's like, this is just part of a story. It's a step, you know what I mean? This isn't, having some people that you can talk to helps a lot too.
Yeah.
You know, in any situation, no matter how well off you are, you know, I think that kind of the mental health muscle is something that you can build like weightlifting. Like you're not just going to fix everything in one day. It's something that you are constantly working on and constantly getting stronger. And
yeah, just like exercising.
Right, and social. I think that we're going to see with things opening up is a lot of people have not worked their social muscle in a while, and I can already see it. Like on the plane ride coming out here, people were just like not tolerant of each other in a lot of cases. Some fights almost breaking out.
Really?
Yeah, and the way people are driving. I mean, there's a lot of pent up things going on right now that it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to take a little bit, I think, for people to get back in a normal groove.
I don't think there's gonna be a normal groove.
Yeah,
it's a new change of consciousness now.
Going to be cutting out a new thing that people are going to be grooving in. It's going to be a new.
Yeah, you do feel that vibe though. It's all the uneasy energy that's going on, the uncertainty. Just people have been in the beginning of the pandemic was bad.
Yeah,
like trying to go to a grocery store, you just felt all this negative pent up energy.
Right.
Just people are.
You've got it. You have it, don't you?
Yeah, just
You've
put the blinders
the
on and just But it is eased up a little bit, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we can kind of get back to a different normal. It's going to be a different normal. It's not going to be what we were used to.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But it's great to see you, though, bud.
That's
your parents going to be happy that you're home for a little while, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's nice. They're all vaccinated, so we're able to hang out. And,
cool.
And yeah, so that's super, super cool to be able to just sit down and have dinner with them. You know, I haven't seen them in year and a half, something like that, and just people here in general I haven't seen since I left, and so it's nice to be able to see.
Probably good to catch up with everybody. Yeah. You got plans when you're in town?
A little bit. It's mostly kind of I've got some work to do around the house and that kind of a thing, but definitely meeting up with some folks. Going to see family at the end of the week, which I haven't seen. I've never met one of my nephews, and I haven't seen my other nephew and my niece in probably 3 years. No, I saw him when my grandmother passed, but it's been a little bit. So,
pal, you come to Utica. What's the first thing you eat? The Utica food.
The first thing I actually had some long hots at Delmonico's. I had some garlic pizza with bacon. That's our traditional band practice. Florida came over, brought some of that, which was delicious. And then what else? I'll get some like a buffalo chicken sandwich. I just went to Pumpernickel's before I came here.
So you don't dive into like chicken riggies or the greens or any of the pizza or any of that? Or, well, you did have pizza, but
yeah. I will. I'll get there. I'll probably get some Georgia. I'm gonna go to Ancora. I want to go to Taylor and the Cook. Some few places that I want to. I've been to Big Apple, which they didn't have any food there.
They don't?
No. I feel like they should have apples.
They got candy on the counter you can get.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's certain chocolate milk. That's what I got. I got a gallon of chocolate milk. Been crushing that.
You're the all-American boy.
The burned dairy.
Oh, man. Dave Bandage is posting up the Pro Drum Facebook page.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then he also posted Green Jello's Facebook page.
Oh, hell yeah, Dave. Thanks, buddy.
And give a shout out to Motor Lord out there. You got to check out Motor Lord.
Yeah. Is that Tom?
No, this is Marshall.
Guitarist?
Tom's in that band. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom is in that band. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I remember when they started.
Did you?
Yeah. I saw him play at.
That's right. I totally forgot Tom's in the band.
At a VFW. I was in Squall with Tom.
Yep.
Which was awesome, and Jared Pezdek and Elliot Murphy.
Yeah, you played a lot of bands, brother.
Billy Joel tribute.
I was thinking about the live band karaoke that we used to do at the Electric Company, and like now where that has come, as far as the live band karaoke and like these people on Twitch and like our good friend Joe Altier out there playing like 6,000 songs. Like back then when we were doing live band karaoke, you guys only knew like maybe 80 songs, maybe 100. Yeah, something like that. Now these guys know thousands of songs.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
just technology, you know.
It is technology, and also that's a lot of work to be putting in to know those songs. And that's something that I kind of it's a lot of time to be putting in and devoted to that so much. A lot of respect to those folks who are doing that. And the indeterminacy, that was a big thing for me, is that it's different. Like the Grateful Dead, you know what I mean? That's an indeterminate band because it's different every single time, what they're doing with jamming. And that was what I found with the live band karaoke, is that, technically it would be different every night, even though it seemed after a while like the same thing. Yeah.
It was fun, though.
It was a lot of fun.
We had some fun over there. On Thursday nights, we used to do it every Thursday. And
for about 8 or 9 months, we did it.
Was it? Yeah. Like about a year or whatever. But, yeah, it was a good time. And we had some regulars that would come in to get up and play with you guys. And
yeah. Robert.
That's what I was trying to think. I was just going to ask you what that guy's name was, but he was totally into it. Playing Metallica. Didn't we play, like, Enter Sandman every week?
Yeah, there were a couple others too. I forget what, but definitely Enter Sandman. We love that one.
Enter Sandman was one.
Hope he's doing well. What's up, Robert?
What's up, Robert? Shout out to Robert. And everybody out there. Nice, man, Dream. It's great to catch up. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. This studio here is badass, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing some great stuff. You've been playing bass much?
No.
Boom, 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 boom.
I have not.
Well, we'll have to do something about that.
Yeah, I have not picked it up a little bit, and it hasn't been what I should be doing. Just kind of the only bass I've been playing is what we've been passing along,
right?
The tracks that you and I have been doing together. But other than that, no, unfortunately not. I've been podcasting.
Yeah, we'll have to put together a song. I was thinking too. We got a song that
we've got a bunch of songs that are unfinished.
Yeah, one actually we recorded at what's it called over there? Yeah.
Oh no!
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
There he is. We're anticipating this arrival.
What up?
Come to that one. That one over there. That one over there. Oh my God! What up? What's up, buddy? Oh my God! Look who's here. Look who's here. Crashing the party. I gotta unmute you, kid. I gotta unmute you. Hang on. Look at you. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, from Rome, New York, weighing at a chiseled 155 pounds.
That's chiseled, baby.
That's chiseled.
That's chiseled.
He is another Renaissance man that you can find hanging in the Street Rock Mafia camp. Check him out at audiooptics.com.
Say that. AO is the future.com.
There he is. AO the future. What's up, kid?
Man, not too much came from the future. You know what I mean?
We started this podcast talking about you because when I called, you picked up the phone, or he picked up the phone, and you're like, I'm transporting, or I'm.
No, you said, how are you getting over here?
Yeah.
Teleporting, motherfucker.
Teleporting, right? Yeah. So then all of a sudden, I got super excited, and then I hung up the phone because I heard your voice. I heard your voice. I got excited. I hung up the phone. I ran in here and started fixing all the scenes around so I could throw you in here because I thought you were coming in, but you did show up, so it's great to see you. Yeah. Jeff Adderman's like, holy shit, an AO sighting.
Yeah, I know, right? Very, very rare, man. Very rare.
Isn't it good to see your boy? Look at him,
man.
Hollywood.
I was so happy to see. Still happy to see the man right now, man.
Oh yeah,
for real. It's just great.
Hollywood over here.
Hollywood Hogan in the flesh.
Yeah, we just had a little lunch over at Pumpernickel's talking about dreams and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, my first time being there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, great menu over there.
Yeah, yep.
Shout out to Phil.
Chicken Philly. Oh, shout out to Phil with the chicken Philly. You heard?
Yeah. See, I heard.
Already on it.
Man, seeing you two in the room together, man, I'm excited right now. I feel like I want to play some music. Can we do like a beatbox vocal jam?
Yeah,
or
that's
something?
exactly what I was thinking. We should do that.
We need to do something. What have you been up to? Plug something. I know you're busy. You got a lot of stuff going on, AO.
Right now, probably for what's been taking up a lot of my time, I've been filming a documentary, and it's kind of tied into prison reform, and so that's like the number one thing right now.
Are you working with incarcerated flavors on that?
No, I'm not.
No?
I'm actually working with Mohawk Weldon, Ryan, and Buddha down there. So
awesome.
We've been kind of busy with that, kind of putting this whole entire thing together and getting our infrastructure ready, and it's just going to be a beautiful thing, man.
So what's the basis on this whole documentary?
The basis on all of it is about the obstacles that like people like myself that have came home from prison that we face when we are looking for employment opportunities, career advancement, equality, and instead of looking at us from a societal view and being just like, like you are less than the pet in my backyard right now. And I mean, so a lot of that is like where the passion for me kind of got me involved with. You know what I mean, so doing that and just kind of getting involved with the marketing and stuff and seeing where I'm gonna go next with audio optics and all that stuff. So
You still making band videos?
Bam, hell yeah.
It's like that's his forte, right, Mandry?
Yeah.
How much fun did we have making all the videos that we
Oh
made?
my
man.
God, fire!
That was some of the best experiences, period, in my life.
Yeah, me too.
Bitch bearing my money.
Yeah.
Man. Every time I walk in a bank, I'm like, get your fucking feet off the desk.
Everybody
Better have every dollar.
Just throwing money off the top of the place.
Oh,
I
that
take
was
dimes,
fun.
nickels, food stamps, 1s, 5s, and 10s.
We're blessed to have you in that circle, though, because you were constantly with that video camera in hand. And you documented so many great things. Every time you turn around, he's making another video. It's like, wow. And then
Yeah.
you did the Bitch Better Have My Money video. Then we were able to go into the odd and film inspirational noise. Like, we had some great times, man.
Yeah, we almost filled up a 500 gig hard drive off the stuff that we got. I got a hard drive with all of our shit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, there's so much stuff.
so
That
like, remember we played chess?
looked at, yeah.
And ping pong, all in the same breath. You know what I mean? Like while we're recording.
You
and shit.
guys were doing the big blue Olympics downstairs in
We
their
were.
basement. You guys started at ping pong in the pool,
That's
and then
right.
you just like bouncing all over to all the games that they have
That's
downstairs.
right.
The only thing you didn't bust out was Monopoly.
I
The only
know.
thing
we
you
probably
didn't
still
play.
be playing that shit.
Yeah.
In fact, me and my brother, big shout out to Kid Cosmic. Me and my brother, we used to play Monopoly for like 4 months.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it would
don't
never
touch
stop.
the board.
Yeah.
I got my money with me. I'm coming over there
I
tomorrow.
own Board Rock. That's mine.
That's a fact.
Don't collect $200. Hilarious.
Yeah, man. How about you, man? What have you been up to? I know I know what you've been up to.
Should have been here 50 minutes ago.
But
No.
our conversation kind of was really just spectacular over lunch, and
Yeah.
and I appreciate you so much, man.
Fuck yeah,
I
bro.
appreciate X by to the two, man.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
love you guys.
it's been 2.5 years since I seen this dude. Man.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
You've been gone that
Yeah.
long, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't seen him in the flesh since since I left.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Everything's been good, man. Just plowing forward. I got a bunch of stuff to record music. I got an electric kit. I got a couple other drum kits set up, so that's been cool. Been getting a lot of percussion instrument. Been getting a lot of weird. So like at the drum shop, they got all kinds of weird like metal things with like springs on them. You know what I mean? That are like handcrafted by these whoever. So I've been picking up a lot of crazy instruments like that. Can make some cool
Are you
noises
collecting
with.
a lot of stuff?
Oh,
Are you
dude.
becoming a hoarder?
It's been Just now I'm becoming a hoarder. Just now.
Yeah, you still have that storage unit sitting here in Utica, don't you?
Yeah, I got
Dude,
another
we
one.
opened it up one day and just like everything come collapsing on me. I opened it up and I'm like, oh! Like beds and drum sets and everything's falling on top of me. And
Looking
just
like Uncle Buck.
yeah, crazy though.
What about you, Z? What have you been doing that's like creative outside of disruption?
Nothing. It's all been disruption.
Well, what about the mafioso?
It's been disruption. It's
okay,
still under
disruption. Okay,
disruption
bet,
blanket.
bet.
But yeah, the
down,
Mafia
I'm down.
podcast has been big, man.
Are
We
you-
just broke 3,000 downloads today.
Yeah, I was talking to
actually.
Clenzo. I
Awesome,
had
man.
coffee with Clenzo over there today.
Yeah, it's pretty excited about it.
Nice,
So
man.
it's 4 episodes in, and we dropped to $3,000 on download. So I'm pumped about it.
That's
The
awesome,
response
man.
has been huge. It's been great.
We need to make a movie off that, man. for
And
real,
that's
man.
kind of
a
like the
screenplay would be
plan. And
phenomenal,
I got a
man.
couple ideas in the works, and like we're talking, but.
All right, cool.
Everybody blows smoke up your ass. You know what I
This is
mean?
true.
So
Yeah.
we've been talking to a lot of people have reached out. Let's just say that, and we'll just kind of filter through the bullshit.
Speaking of blowing smoke up your ass, pot's legal.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. Take it any way you can get it.
That's it.
Um,
That means I could smoke on the show.
Yeah.
I know, right? Think they're still gonna do
Pretty
drug tests?
crazy. What's that?
Still gonna do drug tests? You think?
I mean, it
Like companies and stuff like
depends.
that.
Yeah, probably.
We know it's legal, but you shouldn't be doing that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, they still do. I think at least until it's federally legal,
Mhm.
they'll be doing that. But
Yeah. I don't know. Ederman wants to know how long you're in town for, Andrew.
right now, till Saturday.
Saturday.
I might push it a little bit, but I haven't decided yet.
But the following Saturday is that Potty Mouth show,
Yep.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Angelo,
When
I
Angela.
was just talking about how like the universe and things just come full circle, and we're in a sim. I swear, once again, we are in a simulation, man. You think it and it happens. you talk about somebody you haven't seen him in, I don't know, a couple lifetimes.
Yeah.
And dude just pop. Oh shit! I was talking about your ass yesterday. I mean, and it's just like.
Did you see the video? Did you see him on the show?
With P. Snyder and
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
And equations and all that good shit. Hell yeah, I seen it, man. I was there. It's not physical. My spirit was there. I feel like I'm always with Manji at all times, man.
I know, I hear that.
Like I really do. I don't gotta even talk to you. I'm just like, I'm just in tune.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Were you cracking up when you saw? But then you're looking at it and too, and it's like, oh shit, Angela was there too.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
how weird. Like
He's
you
doing
said.
the beat. He's providing the beat in the back for the equations thing, man. It was so nuts. To look
So
over and
I
be
seen him.
like,
I was like, oh,
Fishbone.
I just started flipping out. You know what I'm saying? I think I threw my phone at the couch.
Yeah.
What? Let's go! Oh man,
Here it comes.
great.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, it was amazing to see that and how the universe just comes around and now boom, and there you are. You're like best friends with him now.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a great night though when we opened for Fishbone at the Westcott?
That shit was so fire.
That was so much fun.
It was so fire.
Looking at the pictures back from that, and I think I listened to Milky White Booty where we go into Boogie in the Butt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and dude, hilarious. Take your little trumpet in your butt. You know, like kind of.
Oh, that was from there.
Yeah.
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 You recorded that?
We recorded.
We recorded everything.
Yeah, we had the
Yeah.
tripod set up.
Yeah, we used to play Boogie in the Butt.
The people in sound used to hate me. I'm like, yo, I need to put my tripod right here on my camera. Yo, bro, we got our sound. Just trust me, my nigga. It's gonna work.
Yeah, I know you would have to.
Always had to like negotiate.
But not
space.
too many bands were doing that back then, though.
This is true.
Think about it. Nobody was really. We documented every step
every
we
single
made,
thing.
pretty much. And if you don't have it, Washburn's got it.
That's right. BMW. He
Yeah.
sent me a bunch of footage. Big shout out BMW too, man.
Yeah,
That's my
for
dude.
sure.
I haven't seen him in a minute. Last time I heard, he was like on like the Alps or some mountains.
No, yeah, he did. He did the big. What's it? The Himalayas.
Himalayas. I know.
Yeah, that was
his.
last year.
That's fire.
He's doing very well, man.
Right.
Adderman wants to know if you'd be interested in tuning some drum heads in a session this week. And
Sure.
he would compensate you, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, so you make a little scratch.
Yeah. I love it.
It's gonna cost you, Adderman.
Let's go.
No doubt. You need some microphones too. What's happening?
Yeah. No, I haven't put a man. I haven't put a $5,000 tune on a drum in a long time. So yeah, I'd love to do that for him.
There you go. It's been a while, huh? Yeah.
Oh shit! You got my name on the screen. All right.
You
Just
just
spelled
noticed that.
correctly too. Word up.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard to
Some
spell.
people be like, "Yo, I'm about to put a Y in the middle." No, ain't no Y in the middle
It's
of the
just
A.
AO.
Oh, that's
Just
it,
put an
man.
A and an O.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Simple.
Man.
AYYO.
Yeah, why would they put a Y in there?
You want to fight or something? I don't know, man. I don't know where the Y
So,
come from. But I think they'd be
Ayo.
like, "Hey yo," whenever I
No.
tell anybody my name, they're like, "Hey yo." No, take it easy,
No,
man.
there's no Y.
I know why, man.
Yeah.
Take it easy, bro.
Take it easy. So while we're here, we should play a song or something.
Hell yeah.
I wish we could.
Are
Wish
You
we-
Living would be dope.
Right? That's the one thing. I wish I had the room in this place. Uh-oh. I wish I did have the room for the place so I could get instruments in here and stuff. But, we're a podcasting studio.
Yeah, you can't be everything. Don't-
Leave that to Big Blue.
Yeah.
They're the professionals.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go crash that party.
Exactly.
What's up with Pam? How's Pam been doing? Have you seen Pam? Pam, yo, Jeff, tell Pam we said hi, man.
We love Pam.
I love Pam.
I love Pam more than I love Jeff. It's a fact.
Wow.
I
Really pitting them against each other. I like that.
I know, right? I'm like, all right, cool. I like them both, but whenever I had I love Pam. Well, I just love Pam.
And
Pam
now
is
she's watching right now, so there you go. Tell her.
Good.
great. Pam. I love you, Pam. You know it, mama.
She says you guys should all come by with Mandry and have a Basement Olympics rematch.
Hell
You
yeah.
beat me last time, so
Yeah, damn
You
straight.
won
It's gonna
last
happen
time?
again too.
yeah, he did.
Really?
And he beat me in foosball too. He didn't beat me in
It's kinda my
basketball, but
thing.
it was kind of cold
Well,
out.
nobody beat you in basketball.
Yeah.
It was cold that day.
It was brick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to warm up nowadays. I'm a little older than I was then.
And everybody
Especially
kicked the field
foosball.
goal but me.
No, Mandry.
I missed. I couldn't hit a field goal to save my life. Even if I stood 5 yards out, I couldn't freaking hit a field goal.
Oh, we were booting him out there.
You guys were killing it. I couldn't hit nothing.
Oh man, I love anything that's like that. But
I definitely wasn't killing it, but I think I did get it eventually.
Yeah, we moved into like the
We made it
5-yard
look like
line
I
or so.
got
Yeah,
it
yeah.
because everyone started going nuts. But I think that
Yeah, because it was short, and we're like, oh, and then Gabe was like, no, no.
Gabe hit it, man. First, right off the bat.
He did.
Yeah.
He booted it. I was like, wow,
booted
you
it.
got a foot, kid.
Like Martin Anderson in the making. He was like,
Morton Anderson.
word, with the straight on kick too. Word, man.
You Steve Christie motherfucker.
Ray Finkel, wide right.
Oh, my
But
God.
nah, man, that shit was great, man.
And then we can't forget about the 420 kickball party.
Oh man, that shit was
yeah,
I
great.
want to do another one this year.
We should.
The weather's been beautiful. I think we might be able to find a nice little weather day for it. We should do it
Nice.
from 420.
yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, man.
I'd love
Why
to play
not?
a little golf, especially if I stay a little bit later.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. But yeah, man.
Thanks for
those
bringing the weather
Olympics.
with you, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh yeah,
Heat wave, man.
you know, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
There you go.
That's great.
Oh, shit. So what do you think?
See, it's been a little minute since I felt like I was infinite, but since then, I'm always in it with my man's Reed from LA. And you see Z over there, Jeff, what you say? I see that big blue Olympic in the way. I'm looking for that if you want it. Get it, I got it, about to get it over with. I see it over here, Z, Apple Box. With that video, see, I got that. You better fall back, I see it coming clear.
Win it.
See that face? That shit is funky. X, Y to the, my rhymes fly back with the back like they coulda. You wish you woulda, but you can't. So fall back, I'm about to break the bank like Bishop in here. See, I'm over here. You got the stitches in here. I got that boxing glove up in the back of my trunk. You can get it any day. We got that funk, and we ain't playing at all. Give me that drop. Hit me.